And welcome into the War Squared Fantasy Football Podcast. We are nearing the end of free agency.
Well, this is the value period in free agency signings, where this is where Patriots and teams like them step up and fill out the roster with the needs that they have.
For sure.
But there's a lot of talent left out there. A lot of people left out there needing to be signed.
Yeah. Still a lot of big names out there. We'll start with, to me, one of the interesting things. Lions going to be the team on Hard Knocks this year.
Oh, you knew it was going to be them because Campbell, their coach, is a walking enthusiasm for football.
Yeah.
The Lions are going to feed off of it. It's going to be. I might actually watch it this year for the first time ever.
Yeah, I mean, when it was the Cowboys, it was pretty boring.
Boring.
The other teams in the league not happy with the Browns for guaranteeing a 5-year contract for Deshaun Watson, let alone giving up so many draft picks for him. The NFL Management Council had urged teams to resist guaranteeing money so far into the future. You know, kind of like baseball does.
Yeah.
You know, or like maybe collusion.
But what they might have done was just emphasize the fact being that the collective bargaining agreement does not require them to give guaranteed money in the future.
Collusion.
No, it's just going back and pointing out the finer intricacies of the
when all of the teams agree not to give guaranteed contracts, that is collusion.
It's also part of the collective bargaining agreement. But in our dynasty league last year, I drafted Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson will be a free agent at the end of this year, and Baltimore has said on record saying that the Deshaun Watson contract has complicated their negotiation process with Lamar Jackson. And Lamar Jackson's going, pay me.
Not my problem.
Exactly. That's what he got. I'm worth that. I'm an MVP.
Yeah.
He's not.
I mean, the owner of the Ravens came out and was basically saying, hey, this shouldn't have been the guy that got the guaranteed contract. If anybody, it should have been Lamar.
Yes.
And they probably was. They probably had some deal in place with him, but they can't get
money.
Lamar to call them back.
Yeah. Lamar is AWOL at this point in time in the negotiation process and trying to get a long-term contract, and apparently is more than willing to play underneath the 1-year extension that he's got at $18.8 million, which, by the way, is not chump change.
I think it's 25. I think he was the previous year.
I think he was the same year as Baker, wasn't he?
I don't think so. I think he was the year before.
Because Baker's on his 5th-year contract, as is
Maybe
Lamar.
not. Maybe I'm wrong.
It should be 18.8 if I got my figures correctly, and we'll have to check that. I tried to check it earlier, and I wasn't able to because my computer's updating an Office update, and I can't get anything off my computer right now. But going back to the thing, I predicted that Lamar Jackson was not going to be a Raven for this upcoming football season, that Tyler Huntley would be the starting quarterback in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm. Lamar's base salary is $23 million.
23. Thank you for looking that up. And so now at this point in time,
I knew it was higher.
It's looking more and more like Lamar's not going to be in Baltimore. But where's he going to end up at? There's only 2 teams that.
Well, it's going to be in Baltimore this year.
Possibly, because they might be able to trade him this year and get something for him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see that.
And fantasy football wise, there wasn't any drop off from Tyler Huntley to Lamar Jackson.
Well, yes, there was
some, but not much.
Which is why I took Tyler Huntley off your hands and gave you 2 sprains.
Yeah, there was some
2 sprains.
There was some definite drop off, and I mean, but Lamar's play had peaked,
had plateaued.
It peaked like in week 2 against the Chiefs, and then came down,
plummeted at that point in time,
and bottomed out against the Dolphins.
Bottomed out the last 5 weeks of the season when he didn't play. And thank you for relegating me to last place.
Yes.
Which is there's still a bet that you owe.
Absolutely.
It will be paid before the next season starts. Do not worry. But going back to the contract situation,
I'm not worried. Your carb intake should be worried.
Going back to the Deshaun situation. Deshaun Watson had a press conference last week.
He did.
It apparently went really well. He said he's never disrespected a woman, although there was a lot of women who say, "Really? You didn't disrespect any women? What the hell are you talking about, boy?"
Yeah. I thought Andrew Berry came off really well in the press conference. I watched every second of it. I thought it came off very well. But when Deshaun started talking, it was a little weird. Like, one of the things he said was he's going to be hands-on in the community.
Yeah, not exactly
what got you in trouble in the first place.
Not exactly the proper terminology, is it?
The other thing, they asked him, Judy Lockenfora asked him, if he was going to seek counseling for the choices he had made, and he said, I don't need counseling. I didn't do anything wrong.
When
I don't have a problem.
In his mind, he didn't, which is perfectly okay to have that mindset because he thinks his actions were appropriate at that point in time because they may well have been. We don't know.
Well, and then his deposition gets leaked, obviously by Busby, the attorney for all the
22
plaintiffs. And it basically, they're like, did you find her attractive? He said, I've got a girlfriend. What kind of answer is that? Why don't you just say, yeah?
The one trying to keep his butt from getting in trouble at home. That's what that answer was for.
Yeah, but he's got a girlfriend. She can go.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that she's still around is amazing.
You don't know the relationship. Maybe she trusts him and understands that maybe he's getting... There might be some extenuating circumstances associated with these lawsuits.
Maybe it's just a Will and Jada open relationship. You
never know.
Who knows?
But going back to this, and then Roger Dale came out yesterday and said that, oh, by the way, he's might be suspended by the league. You think?
Might be.
You think?
Well,
might be.
well,
Which definitely
question is
impacts
how
his
long?
fantasy value.
Here's what I don't think he gets suspended if he has to go to court and gets these civil cases and civil charges dismissed.
He has to get suspended. There's not a question of.
No, he doesn't have to be suspended.
No, he does not.
In the public eye, he is guilty. And look at what's happened with everybody else.
doesn't
Ezekiel
matter.
Elliott got 6 games for a situation, allegedly, that didn't even happen while he was in the NFL.
Yeah, but that was years ago. Things change.
Apparently.
Yeah, I expect that he'll miss 6 games. I expect that
4 to 6.
he will get 8 games and he'll appeal it and get 6.
I'm expecting 8 appealed to 4.
With this new contract from the Browns, I would just pay them all. I'd pay them all. I'd shut it down and move on.
I would have done that last year at this time.
Yeah. Well, he tried.
Yeah,
He had 18 of them settled.
You had
He
a
should've got him settled.
20-something million signing
He
bonus.
should have got him. He should have got them settled. Those 18 closed, gone. With only 4 left at this point.
I
but
agree.
He didn't.
Let's get to Seth's hot button. The NFL mandates a woman or minority has to be an offensive coach. We will get into the repercussions of this after show, so we do not send Seth into a stress heart attack. Really, this is because the NFL has retained a new firm that their sole responsibility is how to coach the NFL so they don't get sued again.
On being woke.
No, so
Yes.
they don't get sued again for racial or
On being woke.
sexual stereotypes that they continue to perpetrate.
On being woke.
I hear
Same,
you
same.
keep saying that.
Same.
What the only thing is, as soon as they have the 2 new defendants or plaintiffs that joined the Brian Flores lawsuit
are
on
they?
April 8th that will also bring in 2 more NFL teams.
And who are these 2 new plaintiffs?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
We'll know April 8th. So that's good. That's a big thing for the league. The only other non-football thing, Mile High Stadium had a fire in a suite, damaged 12 suites. The video is online. Everybody go check it out. It is wild. Several hundred
is
seats
epic.
were damaged.
It is epic watching that fire take place and them trying to put it out.
A real challenge for it to be ready for games in September.
You know,
Welcome to Denver, Russell Wilson.
Yeah, you know it will be. It'll be ready. Don't worry about it.
Oh, well, they'll be
Mile
able
High
to
will
play the game. There just won't be anybody in those suites or those seats.
Yeah, the seats will be replaced by then. They're just
Yeah,
plastic.
that might be true. The
The
suites won't be
might
ready.
not be, but they'll push as much as they can because that's where they make the real money at in the games. Welcome to Mile High, Russ. Go take a smoke.
There you
I don't know. Just kind of funny. It's called Mile High in Colorado. That's just me. I'm sorry.
That's the way it
Now, in
is.
big news, we're in Kansas, and what is the big news here that everybody's still upset about from last week at this time?
Tyreek was traded.
Tyreek was traded, and people are like apoplectic about this.
Did you not think that was going to happen?
Well,
Didn't we say this was going to happen last year?
We said it was going to happen back in January. We both said Tyreek was either going to be. I said he's going to be traded or cut. You said he's going to either be traded, cut, or he's going to have a contract redone.
I said Mahomes was going to tell Tyreek to go long, and he hopped on an airplane and said, "See, I'm out."
Yeah, and now Kansas City has signed some players.
They signed Marquez Valdez-Scantling as the speed guy to replace Tyreek. He's 27. They also signed Juju Smith-Schuster. He's 25.
Who looks and plays a lot older than 25, doesn't he?
He seems like, yeah, I mean, but he was like 19 or 20 when he came into the league. Valdez-Scantling's basically a 1 year $9 million or a 2 year 18, although it's 3 for 30. He'll probably never see that third year, or
unless it becomes Tyreek.
Renegotiate it. Juju's is a 1 year $3.25 million, which they also say is a 1 year $10 million, but a lot of that are all incentive based, makes the Pro Bowls, catches, touchdowns, etc. For their career, MVS has 97 receptions for 1,723 yards. Juju 250 for 2,809. So who's going to be the better player in Kansas City?
I think neither.
I just can't wait to see Juju and Jackson doing a TikTok duet before the game.
Yeah. And Brittany, got to throw her in too.
Oh, Brittany's going to be filming it. And
I think probably Kansas City.
God. Somebody put Pat Mahomes on Suicide Watch.
I think in the long run, Kansas City
upgraded
their offense by having these two as wide receivers there, but downgraded the overall skill of the position, if that makes sense. They now have a 2 and 3 number 2, number 3 wide receiver, but not a number 1. They have greater depth, but not that one impact player.
And they lost Byron Pringle, who went to, now I've forgotten, Chicago.
Chicago, yes.
Demarcus Robinson went to the Raiders. They've still got Mecole Hardman. Maybe Mecole Hardman becomes the number 1.
He's supposed to be the next speed guy behind Tyreek. We'll see what happens.
They also added Ronald Jones, former Bucs draft pick and former Bucs starter.
And they are supposedly in trade negotiations for Saquon Barkley.
I love them getting Saquon Barkley.
That might be the best position that they've added in this year.
Yes, if they get Saquon, that is a huge slam dunk for the Chiefs.
But okay, let's talk about
the
Tyreek Hill trade for a little while. I think it's an addition by subtraction by getting rid of Tyreek. Tyreek was 28. He's been injury prone. He missed some games last year. His contract is absolutely
out of this world,
astronomical, and the impact it's going to have long term on the salary cap for Miami is incredible.
Not as bad as what 28% of the salary cap's going to do on Mahomes' contract when that $70 million's due in a couple of years.
We'll see if that actually comes due or not.
It'll keep getting renegotiated.
And so by doing this, they've fixed the salary cap issues for this year and next year. They've added depth at wide receiver, and they've added depth at their positions as they go along.
Kicking the can down the road. That's all they're doing. And
so by doing this, I think, especially with the draft choices they got back, I think the Kansas City is going to actually end up in the long run being a very profitable, very, very good move for the franchise.
Oh, it should be a great year for the franchise because they'll be able to replace a bunch of the players that they let go with cheaper assets, cheaper, younger, faster assets. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're not going to get anybody that's going to replace Tyreek's
that they control for the next 4 to 5 years, depending upon where they get drafted at.
Yep.
And by getting 2 firsts in the second round, they can move up if they want to, or they can move down. They can do whatever they wish to at that point in time to be able to get players.
And Pete Carroll did say the magic words this week.
DK's available.
They have no intention of trading DK Metcalf.
Which means he's gone. He's gone.
Start the clock. Yeah. He had no intentions March 4th of trading Russell Wilson.
DK's in the warming blocks, kicking out his legs right now, getting ready to come out of the starting blocks.
I mean, what do you want him to say? Like, yeah, we're looking for the best place because this place is terrible?
What I'd tell him is the fact being the following. Anybody on my roster is available at any point in time based upon what offers we get.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If I own an NFL franchise, I would say everybody's available, but you got to pay my price for some players. Some players I'll pay your price for depending upon who they are. Just like Jimmy Johnson said, nobody have the same rules, but unfortunately sometimes talent means the rules might not be enforced as equally as always.
Let's run through these other things real quick here, and then we'll hit the break. Bobby Wagner doesn't sign with the Rams or the Cowboys, says he wants $11 million. Yeah, me too.
How many teams can afford him for $11 million? Like 12.
I tell you what,
5.
I heard an interesting idea today. It's a 3-year, $21 million deal, $6 million signing bonus, $5 million per season. They spread the signing bonus over 3 years, and they cut him next year.
And where does he end up at?
I don't know. Somebody, probably the Rams, the Buccaneers, somebody like that.
Detroit or something. Probably
Nah,
Jacksonville.
I'm sure he'll only go someplace where he has a chance of
Where he
competing.
can get one of these.
Yep.
Got to be able to get a ring.
Cam Newton waiting on the right fit. Teams are interested. I don't buy that. Taysom Hill QB experiment over in New Orleans, so they signed Andy Dalton? Does that mean Jameis won't be ready?
No, Jameis will be ready. Not a problem. Dalton's there just in case.
Jared claims he and the Cowboys are being extorted by his illegitimate daughter and his other daughter's former husband, Charlotte's husband, Shy Anderson, and former exec Vincent Thompson, but he can't talk about it because it's a personal issue.
Yep. And Greg the Leg, former kicker from Dallas, signs with the Jets. But, they're trying to bring in Eddie Perono to compete with him.
Pinheiro.
Pinheiro, I'm sorry. Perono?
It's like that, but different. We'll be back in a minute.
Keep the pest at bay. Call TNT and we'll blow them away. For a pest-free home or business, you need the best. You need TNT, prompt and professional pest control with custom plans tailored just for you. Call TNT Pest Control at 209-9225.
Being in a car accident is one of the most overwhelming and terrifying experiences that you can have. You must then deal with the physical and emotional trauma caused by the accident. Spinal ligament injury is the #1 leading cause of pain and disability following a car accident. If you or a loved one have had a car accident, there's a high likelihood that you've suffered spinal ligaments injury. Here at Titan Medical Center, we specialize in detection, diagnosis, and treatment of car accidents. Call us today.
And keep the pest at bay. Call TNT and we'll blow them away. For a pest-free home or business, you need the best. You need TNT, prompt and professional pest control with custom plans tailored just for you. Call TNT Pest Control at 209-9225.
All right, welcome back in. We're going to go with some degenerate gambler news here and look at team wins over-under for the season that have been released by a notable betting site.
Which is, we can't say on there, can we?
I'm not sure we can.
We're going to
unless
start
they
at
want
the very
to
top
sponsor
and
us.
work our way down.
You can talk about it. These are legit from, I think, either Westgate or Circa or somebody.
It says DraftKings.
Oh, that one.
Okay, so Buccaneers, 11.5 wins. Over under, Seth.
Well, Buccaneers and the Bills are both 11.5.
We're gonna go one at a time.
Okay.
Over.
Buccaneers.
We're
Seth
just
over.
rapid firing.
Yeah, open fire.
Okay.
Seth says over.
And these are not ones that I'm willing. To
I've
get
got
to the
over.
window yet, but
I've got under. Bills.
Over.
Tom. Seth.
over.
I've got over too. I've got them at 13 wins. Chiefs. They're at 11 wins.
Ooh.
Seth.
You know what? I'm gonna go with under.
Hold on. You sent this to us. You didn't already do this. You're just doing this off the top of your head.
Yeah.
And you didn't do the homework you wanted us to do.
I hadn't studied it yet. I haven't gotten to the window with any of them yet.
Wow. Okay, Tom.
I'm
over
going,
under
I'm
for
going
the
out there.
Chiefs.
I'm
I
going
got
out
the
there in
Chiefs
August.
as an under.
I got the Chiefs at 10 wins.
I got them at 10 and 7 too.
I just don't know how they're going to get out of the AFC West. I don't know how any of the AFC West teams are going to get out.
So what I did to get to this is I pulled up last year's record and also division and conference records, and looked at who they play this year. Not only
I looked at who they play this week away and home because they haven't announced the schedule. But we know who's going to be playing where.
right, we know what teams are going to play basically. The only team you don't know who they're going to play is the bonus game, the 17th game.
Actually, we know that one. That was listed in the program.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, like Tennessee's playing Green Bay this year.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know that. I hadn't seen those yet. I mean, a couple of them you can deduce, like because they couldn't play one team because they're
The AFC
they're
South
already
is playing
their
the NFC
level.
North.
Yeah.
So we know they've got them all. They've already got to put out who's going to play where, who's going to play what, and where.
Oh well, yeah, but the 17th game is the one that's the wild card from they tell you a division it's in.
Yeah, but they've
if-
already announced those. Tennessee's playing Green Bay. Atlanta, Indianapolis is playing Minnesota.
Okay.
So they rank the number one against number one, number two against number two, number three against number three from last year's.
Okay.
thing, is what when I looked earlier, that's what it looked like to me.
That's cute.
Okay, Packers. I have them at 11 wins is what everybody else is projected.
I've got them under.
Yeah, I'm going under also.
I'm going over. I've got them at 13 wins.
Are you writing these down?
Yes.
You are over on the Packers.
I am over on the Packers.
Okay.
Rams, they're at 10.5 wins. Seth?
Over.
Tom?
Over.
I've got them at 11 wins.
Yep.
So over. Cowboys.
10.5 over because there's 6 easy wins in the NFC league.
They were 5-1 in the East last year.
That's
Who
not
did
going
we
to happen
lose
this
to?
year.
We were 6-0.
No,
I thought you were 5-1.
No, we swept the division.
I thought you guys got beat by Philly one game.
No.
Okay.
We swept it.
So Cowboys, 11 wins.
Yep. At least.
Yeah, I got them over.
And
I've got 'em
first, and then we'll get bounced in the first.
I've got them.
round.
I've got them at 11 wins. 49ers, they're at 10 wins.
Over.
Over.
I've got them at over. I've got them at 12 wins. Broncos, 10 wins.
Under.
I got them right on 10.
I got them under. I got them at 7 wins. For all you Bronco fans, hate me now, hate me later. I don't care. I got you at 7 wins because you guys traded for the worst quarterback of the ones that got traded this year.
Well, not even that, but it's just you have the toughest division in football.
And besides that, your home stadium's now burned. Okay, the Bengals, 10 wins.
Over.
I got it. I got them right on. I got them
Okay.
right on 10.
I got them at 11 wins.
Okay.
The Chargers, 10 wins is what DraftKings has got them at. Seth, over or under?
Over.
Tom,
Over.
I got them at 12 wins, so I'm over as well.
Yep.
Okay, Titans, 9.5.
Over.
Over.
Okay, I've got them at 11 wins, so I'm going with the over as well. Ravens, 9.5.
Over.
I'm gonna go under on that.
I've got them under. I got them at 8 wins this season.
Wow.
8-1.
See, they were 2-4 in the division last year.
They're going to be 2-4 again in this division.
I don't think so. Because they won't lose to Pittsburgh, I don't think.
No, but they're going to lose the Browns twice. They're going to lose the Bengals
Oh,
twice.
I don't know about that. It depends on when they play the Browns. They play it during Deshaun. They're not. They're
They're not going to
win.
win. Okay, the Colts at 9.5 wins.
I got them over.
Ooh, with Matty Ice. Yeah, I'll go over on that.
I got them under. And I love Matty Ice. I just don't think the Colts are going to be as good this year as what they were last year.
Wow, I
I
think.
think they have a hangover going into the season.
You think they're gonna do worse going from Matty Ice going from
I'm
2
telling you right
No, I
now,
think there's
they're
gonna be more-
going to sign Julio.
I'm telling you, there's going to be more injuries there this year than what there were last year. Their offensive line is going to probably get hit. The Vikings, 9 wins.
Over.
I've got them over. I got them at 10, Seth.
Yeah, over.
Okay, Cardinals, 9 wins.
I got them right on the nuts.
Cardinals, I'll say over.
I got them at 10 wins. But I think I think that they're the third best team in the NFC West.
Yes,
Probably.
for sure.
Okay, Dolphins, 8.5 wins.
Under.
Over.
Okay, I've got them under. I've got them at 7 wins. 'Cause I just don't think that I don't think that Tyreek Hill being added to that offense helped them a whole lot because they already had Waddle there. And let's be real, Tua doesn't have the arm strength to get the ball to Hill down the field.
I'm telling you, they're 9-8.
9-8. Okay.
I mean, that cashes.
Tom says 9-8. Okay, Patriots 8.5 wins.
Yes, over.
Yeah.
They're 9-8 too.
I've got
Maybe
them-
10-7.
I've got it 10-7.
They make the playoffs for sure.
Okay, Eagles 8.5.
No.
Over.
How many wins you got them at, Tom?
I think I either had them at 9 or 10.
I've got them at 11.
Yeah.
I think
going under.
I think the Eagles going to win the NFC East. I said that last week. We made a bet on it, didn't we?
I think
Tuesday
you and him did.
Tuesday night at O'Malley's.
Yes.
Taco night at O'Malley's is for if they don't win the NFC East, I have to take you guys.
Oh
to
yeah,
O'Malley's.
we did. I jumped all over that. I'll even do the $5
steak night.
steak night. I don't care.
The tacos are good. O'Malley's taco.
Yeah, well, we got to try. We got to try.
think
I
I've
got to
ever
go
had
down
the
there for the
tacos.
tacos. I love
Raiders
tacos.
8 games.
Over.
Over.
Okay, I have them over as well. I got them winning 11 games.
I mean, they won 10 this past year.
Yep. I think they've done enough on
and
offense.
they were 3-3 in the division.
I think they've done enough on offense by adding
Devontae Adams.
Adams. And on defense by getting the bookend to go with
Adams.
Matt.
I didn't
think the defense
realize
is going to be better.
Devontae and Carr, except for the last year or two, have always worked out in the summer together.
You're behind times. We said that a long time ago, dude.
I'm just saying, I don't listen to either one of you.
I know. The Giants, 7.5 wins.
Under.
I've got them at 6 wins, and I'm trying to be generous. I'm trying to figure out how they're not the
I'm
worst
trying to
team in
think of who
football.
our schedule is and who we play that they could possibly beat.
Oh, the Falcons are the worst team.
I don't know if they are or not, to tell you the truth.
Oh, yes, they
No,
are.
the Houston probably.
I
No,
don't think so.
Houston will be better.
I think the 3 worst teams in football are Seattle, Atlanta, and the Giants.
I agree with the Giants and Atlanta.
Not Seattle. I think Houston has.
I don't know about Seattle yet.
Okay.
I'm
the,
reserving judgment on
the
Seattle to
Bears,
find out what happens.
7.5 wins.
No.
Under.
I've got them at 7 wins. So under. Steelers, 7.5.
No.
Under.
I've got them at 7 wins, and I'm trying to figure out how they win that many when I went back and looked at it again.
I mean, their defense is going
Their
to be
defense
good.
is going to win them 4 games by,
Now, this
by,
is-
by
yes.
the defense alone.
This is also in the end of March. If somebody has a massive signing or something, these odds could change as well as our opinions. So
Right. I mean, the Seahawks with Baker Mayfield
Still are the
are
worst team in
way
football.
over 6.5 wins.
I don't think so.
with Baker and DK, maybe.
Guys, name me another player on their roster that would start someplace else.
Tyler Lockett.
Okay? Name me another one.
Quandre Diggs.
Okay? That's one of 11 defensive players that would start someplace else.
About all I got.
That I don't remember enough.
We've
about.
named 3 offensive players that would
I
start
think they've
someplace
still
else.
got Carlos Dunlap.
Okay? They are so deficiently poor in...
Like 4 of
Talent.
their 5 offensive linemen have left and have been signed elsewhere.
Yep, but they're left and gone someplace else. They're not there anymore.
That's a good point.
Okay, the Saints, 7.5 wins.
Under.
Over.
I got them under.
You put them under on your
Jameis
list.
was 5-2 as a starter.
I agree.
You put them under on your list, and you just said over? Him, not you.
Yeah, I'm looking to make sure.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah,
Under.
over. Yeah, you're.
Oh, wait,
which one
my
is
bad.
it?
I saw
No, he
that.
says over.
Okay,
Saints
I see.
over
I see what he did
7.5.
there, idiot.
So are they going to win more than 7.5 games?
Yes.
So what you put here is wrong. Then you went under, over.
Giants are under. Bears are under. Steelers are under. Saints are over. Commodes are over.
Yeah, but you said now they're not going to win more than the Saints aren't going to win.
No, I
they're
said
gonna
the
win.
Saints are over.
Okay, I thought you said the Saints are under. I'm sorry.
No.
No.
I said the Saints are under. Okay, the Commodes.
Under.
Over.
I've got them over. I've got them winning 8 games.
No, they're going to beat the Giants twice, Sheagles once, won't beat us at
They'll
all.
beat you guys once.
Oh, I bet we beat you once this year.
I will bet you the $5 steak dinner.
Done.
Sold. American.
Done. They're good.
I tell you what. If they beat him, I want double.
Why? Because you have a trash program?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay. Seahawks, 6.5 wins.
Under.
Under.
I have them under. I've got them winning 5 games, and I think I'm being way too generous there, I think. Okay, Jaguars, 6.5.
Under. Until they reverse it, I can't
I've got
bet.
them winning 7 games.
I can't bet on them.
I've got them winning 7 games.
Only if they do Clown Town every week.
So hold on, let me back up here because I didn't get it written down. So did anybody have? You had the Steelers as over, Doc?
I had the Steelers as under.
Okay. And you and Seth both have the Saints as under,
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
and the Commodes as under.
Yep.
Yep, I have them over.
Oh, I had him under.
Okay.
The Jaguars, you both have under. I have over 6.5. I have
Yeah.
it at 7 wins.
Okay.
Okay, the Panthers, 6 wins.
I say that's right on the nuts. I mean, they're
say-
going to be
you say
just
over?
that good.
I'm going to say over.
I'm going to say under because CMC is going to get hurt about game 3. And they're going to have no offense at that point in time.
I'm going to not draft him this year and bet the over on that.
Okay. The Lions, 6 wins.
Nuts.
Seth?
I'm going to go over.
I've got them over. I think the lines are going to be vastly improved.
I think MCDC is going
They're going to win 7 games.
Yeah, probably.
Well, they've signed. DJ Shark was a great addition for them.
All right, let's go through the last
We got
three real quick.
Falcons, 5.5 wins.
Under.
I've got them under as well.
Jets,
5
5.
wins.
Over.
I've got them over.
Yeah,
Sharky, we got them picked as over, and Texans
4.5.
4.5.
Over.
Under. They suck.
I got them over. I got
They
them
had
at 5.
four wins last
And they
year.
were the worst. I got them at 5 wins.
I think they're better this year.
I know they're better this year. They got draft picks this year. They're going to be able to add some offense to it.
All right, so Seth's the only one under there. We'll come back, recap that a little bit, and move on to salary cap issues. See you in a minute.
Keep the pest at bay. Call TNT and we'll blow them away. For a pest-free home or business, you need the best. You need TNT, prompt and professional pest control with custom plans tailored just for you. Call TNT Pest Control at 209-9225.
Being in a car accident is one of the most overwhelming and terrifying experiences that you can have. You must then deal with the physical and emotional trauma caused by the accident. Spinal ligament injury is the #1 leading cause of pain and disability following a car accident. If you or a loved one have had a car accident, there's a high likelihood that you've suffered spinal ligament injury. Here at Titan Medical Center, we specialize in detection, diagnosis, and treatment of car accidents. Call us today.
And keep the pest at bay. Call TNT and we'll blow them away. For a pest-free home or business, you need the best. You need TNT, prompt and professional pest control with custom plans tailored just for you. Call TNT Pest Control at 209-9225.
He has one job.
I hit the wrong damn button.
He has one job. And he
And
can't quite do it the right way. Can he?
We're back in, and it's just a fun time here in the studio.
He has one job.
One job. Well, he's going to have one more job this year. It's going to be paying for my steak dinner.
And
So
You know what? It's worth $5. Even
In my taco
I'll
night.
be more pissed off. Oops, I muted myself. I'll be more pissed off if we lose than I will having to buy you a $5 steak dinner at O'Malley's.
and
I can't wait to see the message, the text message we get of,
it'll just be of a steak.
yeah, and what's going to happen is he's just going to blow up, just sit back and just laugh at him.
Yeah, that's what'll be great for us is that we'll just sit there the entire time while we're eating steak on his dime, and he'll just be bitching and complaining the whole time. It'll be awesome.
If we just sit there and eat the steak the whole time.
Or what's going to be even better was when both of you have to buy me a steak dinner.
Hey,
Because
whatever.
you both took the bet. So if I win, I get 2 steak dinners.
Yeah,
And if we win, we just get a steak dinner. I get taco night.
I
as
get
well.
2.
You get 2, and I get taco night
How the hell
from both of you.
I did give you 2 to 1.
And I get taco night from both of you if that ends up happening.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Jared, don't let me down.
So I had a salary cap thing that I found on, I can't remember where I found it, but I was surfing the web looking at stuff. Here are the salary cap hits for the 10 most expensive players this season. Matt Ryan, formerly of Atlanta, $40.5 million. Now he's with the
Atlanta.
Colts. At Atlanta,
$40.5
it's
million
40.
is what Atlanta paid to get rid of him this year.
Right.
So remember the movie Moneyball,
Yes.
where the GM walks up to Dave Justice and goes, "Hey Dave, why don't you buy into the program?" He goes, "Well, the Yankees are this," and he goes, "No, Dave, you don't understand. The Yankees are paying me $6.5 million for you to play for me this year."
Right.
That's what the Yankees thought of you. That's what the Falcons think of Matt Ryan.
Ryan.
They're paying $40.5 million for him to be a Colt this year.
Number
lot of money.
2, surprisingly,
I'll do it for half.
is you'll do it for 40,000. You won't even care. Number 2,
Yeah,
Ryan
especially when you owe your
Tannehill.
company money.
Not surprising, because his contract when he signed it 2 years ago was designed to be a 2-year contract they could walk away from after 2 years and upgrade or draft somebody at that point in time and go forward. But because they did the restructuring deal, they kicked the can down the road a year, and that's this year, which is why Tennessee hasn't restructured Tannehill's contract yet, because they don't want to kick the can down the road another year and have a $50 million salary cap hit with him next year.
Now, how interesting would Lamar Jackson be in Tennessee?
That would be amazingly interesting in Tennessee. Honestly, I'm not sure I want to see it though.
That's a discussion for another time.
Talented, yes. Availability, no.
Well,
he misses a lot of games in Tennessee with the current field they have, which isn't exactly good as far as his footing and stuff goes. I see a lot of lower extremity injuries for him because he's so reliant on that part of his game.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Number 3, Pat Mahomes with the Chiefs, $35.8 million. Number
It's
4,
only going to get worse.
right? Number 4, Kirk Cousins at $31.4 million. This guy,
He's banked $282 million over his
something
career,
like
something
that.
like that. I mean, he's a very good NFL quarterback. He's a B to a B plus NFL quarterback.
He is the white Dak.
He's better than Dak.
he's a C plus B minus guy.
He's
to
at
me.
least a B, maybe a B plus because.
No.
But his big knock.
How many
is he
playoff
can't-
wins does he have?
Exactly, that's the big playoff knock. But the same, how many playoff wins does Dak have?
Don't drag Dak into this.
Why not? You
More than Kirk Cousins.
You just did by calling him the.
I didn't
white
call
Dak.
him that. The internet's calling him the white Dak Prescott.
Okay, but last year what was his numbers? 31 touchdowns and 5 interceptions.
No, he had way more than 5. Like 11 or 14, something like
I'm
that.
not sure what, but he had pretty good numbers. He had really good numbers.
How many wins did they have?
Not enough.
Right. Number 5, Jared Goff, still with his Rams contract at $31.2 million, although he's currently playing for Detroit. Number 6, TJ Watt from Pittsburgh,
By the way,
highest defensive player, 31.1. Yes, sir.
if you want to look at QBR, because how else are you going to tell a quarterback?
QBR is the best rating there is.
Dak, Mr. Prescott, was number 11 with a 54.6.
Not even a top 10.
Kirk Cousins was number 15 at 52.3. I can rattle off the top 10 if you would like.
Let's do that in here a second. Let's go through
Yeah,
the
fine.
salary cap, and we'll come back to this, and we'll see where the guys who are on this
Chris
list are.
Jones, the second Kansas City Chief on the list.
29.4, and another reason why they had to get rid of Tyreek.
Yep, you can't have that many high-paid players. Or
And
positions
you can't have
like
them at
that.
every position because Travis Kelce's
On his
one of the
way up.
highest paid tight ends, if not the highest paid.
And soon they're going to have Orlando Brown as one of the highest-paid left tackles.
Right.
Everybody getting paid, but nobody wants to stay.
Number 8 is the Raj
The dynasty that never was is already
At
over.
28.5.
at 28.5.
Interesting. I read a contract. I read an interesting article this past weekend that talked about Rodgers' contract. Apparently, there's a clause in the contract that they can both walk away from each other after 1 year,
Oh yeah,
with basically
every year.
no
It's in
impact.
every year.
With basically no salary cap implications.
Didn't they
for
do
the
that with
future.
Taysom Hill? That was like a $40 million.
No, because Taysom Hill's was all based on
Him being a quarterback.
It was-
once he had 225 attempts, then all the quarterback money kicked in.
But he was all voidable years.
Yeah, he had voidable years at the end, but his was all that way. But Rodgers' contract is basically structured where after 1 year they can walk away from each other and not have a lot of salary cap implications for the Packers. So this contract talked about how next year look at the free agent market is going to be quarterbacks. There's not going to be any. It wasn't really this year.
Right.
And with this draft class here that might have 1 to 3 quarterbacks taken in the first round, although next year's is better, they might actually get more value for A-Rod next year and be able to start Jordan Love in the 5th year of his contract after sitting for 3 years, much like A-Rod did behind Favre.
Okay. Number 9, Carson Wentz with the Commodes. It is Philadelphia contract still at 28.3.
That's got to leave a mark, isn't it?
What's that?
The 28.3 salary cap.
No, what do we care?
He's
We got
27
Chase Young on his. We got like 6 guys on their rookie deals.
You're
I mean,
the former owner of the team that he played for last just said that he was a mistake.
Yes.
yeah.
But I am so happy he's in the NFC least. That's going to put Trayvon Diggs a guaranteed Pro Bowler again.
No, he won't be.
He's
No,
going to have
because he
13
doesn't throw-
interceptions against 2 sprains.
No, he's not.
He does not throw it to the
And-
cornerbacks. He
and
throws
when-
it to linebackers and defensive ends.
Yes. He gets a bad up there and
Oh, okay.
linebackers pick him up.
I'm sorry. So Micah Parsons, he
Yeah.
needed
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Oh, by the way, Micah Parsons had a real interesting tweet this last week. A kid tweeted out the fact being, I don't know which Cowboy jersey to buy because I
Oh
bought
yeah, I saw that.
I bought a Randy
Randy Gregory.
Randy
Yeah.
Gregory jersey. He's not a Cowboy anymore. I bought
Amari
this guy's.
Cooper.
He's not a Cowboy anymore.
Please don't.
His response was, "Please don't buy mine." Then it was one of the best tweets I've ever read. Okay, the last on the list is Leonard
Williams from the Giants, 27.3. And I think this might have been why I found it and definitely why I put it in here. Leonard Williams' hit against the salary cap is more than Tom Brady's, more than Aaron Donald's, more than Josh Allen's, or Matt Stafford's.
This year, but wait till the future years kick in. But, we're trying to figure out how the Giants can suck so bad and spend so much money. I think we found a cause.
Leonard Williams, what does he have? Like 4, 5, 6 sacks last year?
At best.
$27.5 million.
Got a good agent, doesn't he?
Hey,
They had to keep him in the building.
Him. God bless him.
I'm all for people getting paid, but...
Me too, and I'm all for the Giants and the WTF
and the
Shigels to waste a ton of money.
Which the Shigels wasted money that now the Commodes are paying for.
Right.
Which is
against them.
Which is kind of interesting.
He's so bad, we're going to pay him to play against us.
So he's going to be able to complete passes.
And you guys want to bet steak dinners on this. Okay.
We already did.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
See, I took the Eagles. I didn't take the Redskins.
They have a good Scotch menu over there too, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Okay, good, because you are gonna need it. I can't wait.
Okay.
All right, so
let's go back.
Let's go to your QBR, and let's go down. Start at number 1, and let's go.
All right, so this is 2021 from ESPN regular season, all NFL. Raj, number 1.
Okay.
69.1 QBR.
Okay.
The GOAT, number 2. 68.1 QBR. Herbert, number 3. 65.6 QBR.
Interesting.
Stafford, number 4. 63.8. Patty Mahomes, number 5. 62.2. Josh Allen, number 6. 60.7. Kyler Murray, kind of surprising in the top 10. 57.3. Ryan Tannehill, 55.5.
Hold on, Tannehill's in the top 10?
Yeah, number 8.
Did that include interceptions in playoff games?
No, it's
I'm not sure, but
regular
here's
season.
where
Regular
I
season.
have a problem with this. Number 9. 2
Carson
sprays. Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
54.7.
Wentz had a good. He had 27
27 and
7
7.
interceptions.
Number
he had,
10.
And how many yards did he pass for? Like 3,900.
3809, something like that.
He had a really good season statistically last year.
Number 10.
Until the last 2 games of the season.
Doc's quarterback, Russell Wilson, at 54.7.
He still sucks.
Number 11 was Dak.
Yeah.
So who's 12? Carr?
Josh Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay, Tim.
Number 12, Joe Burrow. Number 13, Jimmy G. 14, Derek Carr. 15, Cousins.
Of course, Derek Carr's 14.
Yeah. 15, Cousins. 16, Mac Jones. 17, Lamar. 18, Tua. Hurts, Bridgewater, Ryan, Daniel Jones, Heineke, Goff.
Yeah.
Big
Okay.
win, blah, blah, blah.
So let's relate this back to fantasy football. How would you rate the top 10 at this point in time? Who's your number 1 top 10 fantasy quarterback at this time, Tom?
It's Josh Allen.
Yep. I don't disagree. Josh Allen's number 6 on this list.
Yeah, as far as rating.
Number 2.
Number 2, I think, is now Tom Brady because I moved Pat down.
I think I had Herbert number 2.
Are you talking strictly fantasy or dynasty?
This season, rated for
okay.
this
Strictly fantasy
season.
Okay. Because I would not have Tom Brady in a dynasty.
Yep. Number 3.
Let's see. Oh, this is your ranking. It's not mine.
You got my rankings there?
I think it's yours.
Is it an Excel spreadsheet?
No, it was some Word document. I'm trying to find the rankings
I have
I
A-Rod
had.
as 3. 4 is Herbert. 5 is Mahomes.
I think maybe I had Herbert at 3. Hold on, we are
6 is
we are
Burrows.
efforting.
Yep, we're efforting. We got about a minute left before we got to go to another break. But we can do this as we come out of break, correct?
Yeah. So I had Allen, Mahomes, Brady, and I dropped Pat down to number 8 then. So it'd be Allen, Brady, Stafford, Burrow, Herbert, Rodgers, Pat, Dak, Kyler, Russ.
Okay. And I'll give you my top 10 as we come back from break.
Keep the pest at bay. Call TNT and we'll blow them away. For a pest-free home or business, you need the best. You need TNT, prompt and professional pest control with custom plans tailored just for you. Call TNT Pest Control at 209-9225.
Being a car accident is one of the most overwhelming and terrifying experiences that you can have. You must then deal with the physical and emotional trauma caused by the accident. Spinal ligament injury is the number one leading cause of pain and disability following a car accident. If you or a loved one have had a car accident, there's a high likelihood that you've suffered spinal ligament injury. Here at Titan Medical Center, we specialize in detection, diagnosis, and treatment of car accidents. Call us today.
And keep the pest at bay. Call TNT and we'll blow them away. For a pest-free home or business, you need the best. You need TNT, prompt and professional pest control with custom plans tailored just for you. Call TNT Pest Control at 209-9225.
All right, we'll jump back in here, and now we'll get Doc's top 10.
My number one is Josh Allen. 2 is Tom Brady. 3 is A-Rod. 4 is Herbert. 5 Mahomes. 6 Burrow. 7 Murray. 8 Lamar Jackson. 9 Matt Stafford. Number 10 is Derek Carr.
Wow.
In my list, I actually have, as we move down the list, I actually have Russell Wilson number 17 on my list.
Golly.
Why so high for you?
For me or for Doc?
For me, I couldn't find anybody else to put in front of him, otherwise I would have.
I have him high just because I think they're going to let him go.
I don't think.
And they're just going to put everything on him. And I think he's just going to throw and run and do everything crazy. I expect him to do well. I don't think they can win shootouts.
I don't think they can win games at all with him at quarterback this year.
Wow.
I think
crazy.
that he has one of the most talented running backs in the league behind him. Definitely a top 10 running back behind him.
And they've already said they're going to try to re-sign Melvin Gordon.
Which I think is great.
And they're going to have 2 backs like they do in Green Bay.
Which I think is great to do. Especially because in this league where you get nicked up, you get banged up, that type of stuff, you always have to have that extra back behind them at that point.
I just hope to God that Javonte Williams has the random 4 touchdown games that Aaron Jones had.
I hope he has a random 4 touchdown games against you, especially. I hope you have those games against Seth, not me, this year next year.
Where he beats me by 0.01?
By 1 yard.
As long as he beats you, that's all that matters. You know that?
0.1.
And I think the other
yard.
personnel around Russ Wilson, offensive line, the skill positions are talented. The offensive line is okay,
Yeah,
but not great.
right.
And I think Russ Wilson's going to be exposed for being the overhyped quarterback that he's been his whole career, who's lived off having dominant defenses in order to win a ring.
Wow, that is crazy. I just don't see that. I don't see him not performing, I guess. I mean, now I don't think all that my alleged performance translates very much to wins. I don't think that they're going to be I'm not even sure they're a playoff team.
They are the worst team in the AFC West.
Okay, probably, but that's
He's
like
the worst quarterback in the AFC West.
But look at the talent.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Herbert, Pat Mahomes, Derek Carr.
Justin Herbert.
That's what I said.
Okay, Doc.
and Russ and Danger Russ. I mean, by definition, them being the 4th place team in that division can beat most of the other divisions.
Okay, let's go back and put Russ back on the Seahawks team. Is he the best quarterback in the NFC West?
No.
No, Stafford is.
Is he the second best quarterback in the NFC West?
Yes.
Better than Janine?
Murray is.
Better than Murray. No, because, and I had this.
Statistically, he wasn't last year.
I have this revelation last night playing Madden. I got to the quarterback
You had an
against.
epiphany, did you?
I did against Arizona. I got to the quarterback and sacked Kyler Murray so many times, and
Made him feel
They
like Joe
could-
Burrow against the Titans.
they couldn't throw it over my guys' helmets. I mean,
Because
like
he's so short.
because he's so short, and I'm like, well, no wonder.
Who do you had Dikembe Mutombo as your nose tackle?
No, I mean, I was like Montez Sweat and a bunch of the Redskins guys.
So you're playing the Commodes?
Yeah, of course
did
I'm
you
playing
win?
the
Did you
Commodes.
win?
Of course I won.
Hold on, did you actually win more than the Commodes do?
Of course I did.
And that's the issue with that's the problem with Madden. Yeah, I
It
think
gives
Kyler-
false hope to.
Okay, who's the third best quarterback in the AFC in the NFC West in your opinion? If Russ is back with the Seahawks,
So it would go Stafford, Russ, Kyler, then
Lance.
whoever's for the 49ers.
see, I've got Stafford, Murray, question mark, because I'm not sure who's the best third and fourth because Lance might come out and just surprise us all.
If it's in the first 8 games of the season, I agree that Kyler Murray is the second best quarterback.
Okay.
After that,
See, I don't think Russ is a top 15 quarterback. I got him at 17 in my rankings. 17.
certainly there's a discrepancy between what we perceive his and in these cases I'm ranking them fantasy. I'm not ranking
I
them
ranked him fantasy
quarterback
this is,
wise.
This is my fantasy rankings for Russ Wilson at 17. I'm not even sure he's top 20 in the NFL as far as quarterbacks go.
Holy crap. Okay.
That's how down I am on Russ Wilson right now because if you look at what he's done over his career, he has won a ring because of a dominant defense.
I'm trying to think.
He would have run a second ring because of a dominant defense, not because the offense was so great, because of a dominant defense. Not anything that he did because he had Marshawn Lynch behind him who carried them through that first one along with the defense.
Oh, it was definitely the defense.
And in the second one, if they would have handed the ball off to Marshawn Lynch rather than throwing the interception, it would have been because of Marshawn Lynch, the dominant defense that got the ring, not Russ Wilson.
Well, I mean, he did march him down the field
And then
with
threw the interception.
Yeah, he threw an interception at the end when they should have run it.
Should have handed it to Marshawn, no doubt about it.
No, there's no question about that.
And then when the defense started falling apart, what happened to Russ in the winning streak of the team?
Well, it
away
went
because he
down,
couldn't
but I
carry him.
mean, the other thing that was a major contributor to that is, of course, is that they lost Walter Jones at left tackle.
Because
and-
Russ wanted too much money, and he was a mediocre quarterback.
well, more because Walter Jones was what 35, 36, whatever like
They
that.
couldn't replace him because of the money he was making for a mediocre quarterback.
Well, they couldn't get anybody
we keep
yeah.
talking about Aaron Rodgers and Pat Mahomes contracts, but what do they keep doing as far as teams go? They keep winning.
When was the last time
mediocre
Aaron
talent.
Rodgers went to the Super Bowl?
Did his team make the playoffs the last few years?
Yeah, they've been the number 1 seed for 3 years running. How's that worked out for him?
Not well. But at
About
least
as
his
well
team's
as the
been there.
Titans did.
His team's been there. Where's Russ's team been at? Watching from home. And you can compare the talent of one team to the other one. Offensive talent-wise, I would go out on a limb here
Well,
and
I
say
mean,
that
Russ did
and
get
say
to the
that-
second Super Bowl that he did lose to the Patriots because he led the comeback against the Packers in Seattle.
I would go out on a limb here and say that for our skill position goes, that Russ has probably had the better skill wide receivers around him than what Aaron's had, hasn't he?
Top to bottom,
Yeah, top to bottom, by far the best.
I mean, so you're going to go back and you're going to say Golden Tate and
Tyler Lockett and
gosh, I'm trying
more
to think of the other
talented- more
guys.
talented wide receivers that A-Rod's through to. A-Rod always had the number one,
No,
but didn't
I
have a lot
can't.
after
I can't
that.
say that because Rodgers has had Donald Driver, Greg Jennings, Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb, Devontae Adams. I mean, those are all elite, top 10. Some of them are top
I'm not sure I
5
put Donald Driver in the
fantasy
top 10.
wide receivers. He's a top 10 fantasy wide receiver. He had top 10 seasons.
Consistently?
No,
Just every now and then he had.
pop ups, but I mean that was because one of the other guys was injured.
Yeah. But I would say talent-wise that they've had at worst comparable talent between the two of them, and A-Rod's teams always continues to win.
I would say no. I'd say Green Bay's wide receiver and tight end talent has been way more
Which
than
is why
Seattle's.
I think that Russ Wilson's overrated. We'll find out this year, won't we?
I guess we will. I feel like we need a bet on this.
Nah. Just we'll see what happens.
I'm going to say this. Russ Wilson is a top 16 QBR and a top 16 fantasy quarterback. 16 wings from O'Malley's. Put up or shut up.
Okay, you're putting up saying he will be. I'm saying he won't be. So you put up or shut up. If he
That's
is,
what I'm doing. I'm saying that's the bet. He's going to be both a top 16 QBR and a top 16 fantasy for 16 wings.
And what do I get if he's not?
You get the 16 wings.
Okay. What I see here is I see O'Malley's getting lots of money from us in the future. What do you think?
Well, they already get a lot anyways.
They do. And so that's what I think. I think that Kirk Cousins is probably a better quarterback than what Russ Wilson is. I think Dak's a better quarterback than Russ Wilson is.
Oh, gosh.
And that's saying a lot.
Well, I agree that Dak is. I can't say that Kirk Cousins is. You'll know.
Carson Wentz is a better quarterback than Dak.
Oh, God. Now we're getting crazy.
Okay.
Really? He was number 9 last year. And
Well,
what was Russ?
ESPN's
Oh, he was
also
10.
drunk.
So he was better. Tannehill was better last year than Russ was.
So you'd rather have 2 sprains than Russ?
Yes.
Whew.
Check that drink.
That is not
It's
tea.
an Arnold Palmer.
Lies.
It's an Arnold Palmer.
We'll jump over real quick to a little bit more on the salary cap. There is only one team as of right now currently over the salary cap, and that is the Bills.
Peter King is reporting on Twitter.
Who?
Bills. The Bills.
Okay.
Hang on. Peter King is reporting on Twitter that Bruce Arians is retiring.
Wow.
That would be interesting because there have been lots of rumors
Full
about
story on Pro Football Talk.
there's conflict between Arians and Brady.
Todd Bowles picked to be the successor.
It's right here. It's the top thing on Pro Football Talk. Bruce Arians steps down as Tampa Bay Bucks head coach. Todd Bowles picked to be successor.
And that might feed more of the rumors of Tom Brady to Miami, which supposedly was in play until all the Brian Flores stuff took place.
If that happens, then I immediately recant my
Overs?
Miami under.
Oh, I definitely recant the Miami because they'll become a distinctly better team with the arm strength that Tom Brady's got compared to Tua. He might actually be able to hit Tyreek Hill going down the field.
Might.
He will.
Tyreek will be auctioning off that retirement ball to pay some of that
Tom Brady money.
hush-hush money to keep his baby mama from talking about him beating his kid again.
That is crazy.
So it's going to be, right now it's kind of the lull before the storm because the NFL draft is 4 weeks away. Correct?
Yes, it's the last week of April.
It's 4 weeks from it's 4 weeks from tomorrow.
28th, 29th, and 30th.
And so this is kind of the lull before the storm. So we're going to start talking more about rookie get drafted and where they're going to go to next year. Then after the draft, we actually start moving back into talking more fantasy stuff than anything else because right now it's kind of ranking them, waiting to see what happens going forward with it. But we're going to move more towards the fantasy part once we get through the draft going forward at that point in time. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun times coming up.
Yeah, the big thing, of course, will be the actual draft itself, and you'll find out where Doc's Breece Hall is going. Even though he has him ranked as number 10 for the season, we have no idea what team he's going to be drafted by. So
He's that talented.
I
Just
hope
like Manu Najee,
I
that
hope
report-
so much that he's drafted by the Titans because there is no chance he's a top 10 running back.
And if
then.
Tennessee drafts him, I'm going to wonder what is in J. Rob's drink that day.
Probably the same crap that's in your drink today.
Then I hope he does really, really well with just an Arnold Palmer. I've got him going to Philadelphia, and can you imagine the RPO with him and Hurt?
Oh my gosh, yeah, he would be a monster in Philadelphia. I will agree to that.
It'll be interesting. So stick around for the after
We're gonna have
show.
the after show. We're gonna let Seth go off here for a minute. So if anybody's interested, hang out.
See you next week.
crazy that Arians is stepping down.
Well, there's been rumored conflict between him and Brady throughout the last 2 seasons. And Brady might have done the power play thing, like,
I'll come back, but
I can retire again if I want to. What do you think?
Well, here's the deal, is that Brady said he's coming back, but currently, somebody pointed this out. I'm going to get over to it real quick here. Well, I will as soon as I can find it. It's hard to see this silly thing. Currently, Tom Brady has a 20.27 cap number with an 8.925 salary with 1.47 roster bonus. So $8 million of his cap charge is in signing bonus from previous seasons. So Tom Brady ain't doing this season for $10 million.
No. But
Ain't happening.
I mean, he can.
He ain't.
he can get traded and renegotiate the contract and get a better one once he goes to, Miami, which has been the rumor for the last 2 weeks. He's going to go to Miami. There's been Drew Rosenhaus came out and said, "Oh, by the way, the biggest trade of the season hasn't taken place yet."
Wow.
Huh.
Yeah, that
What
would
it
be
is, we
that would
don't
be
know.
crazy.
So Seth, you got 5 minutes to rant on the.
Oh God.
This is your 5 minutes to shine, baby.
All right,
No.
so here's what happened, people. They're a little secret, another behind the scenes thing. The NFL came out mandating a woman or minority as an offensive coach, and right after I was through typing it into our rundown, Seth sent the group text that Doc and I are on, and said, "Okay, we can't talk about this during the TV section
Yes.
because I've got too much to say. So let's have it."
I'm just,
Let it rip,
I'm just,
Potato
I'm
Chip.
just sick and tired of, like Doc alluded to earlier, the wokeism. We try so hard to please everyone that what we do is we end up creating racism within racism. Because if you say that I'm going to hire a minority, that is just as much discrimination as saying that I'm not going to hire a minority.
Mm-hmm.
In the NFL, it is the best of the best. I don't care what color they are. I don't care what sexual orientation they are. I don't care really what sex they are, to be honest. It's probably going to be a man just based on just physical attributes. But I really don't care. I don't give a shit. I want the best of the best. Same thing with the coaching staff.
And
I
remember,
don't.
folks, he's a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, so the best of the best doesn't always apply. But
Exactly.
But when you look at your coaching staff, you want the best of the best. You don't want somebody just because they fit the token female or the token minority. Because let's flip that script real quick. Are they gonna go out and mandate that since 86% of the league is black that they have to bump that number down to 50% and add us dumb whites that don't have any athletic ability? No, they don't give a shit about that. They're trying to please the woke minority. Mm-hmm. And it's bullshit because, again, you flip that script, and should I be able to get in the NFL because I'm 36 years old, white, and fat? No, hell no. I don't deserve to be in the NFL. If I'm the best of the best, I deserve to be in the NFL. It's a privilege to be in the NFL, not a right. Same thing with judicial nominees, same thing with vice
Don't go down the
presidents.
flip or stay
No,
football,
I'm just
stay
saying
football.
in general, you
Stay
don't
football.
you don't pick somebody because who they are, or what they are, or what they aren't, or what they aren't.
So let's break down an offensive staff real quick. You're going to have a position coach for all the positions. So you're going to have a line coach, a tight ends coach, a running back coach, a quarterback coach, a wide receiver coach.
Correct.
Then you're probably also going to have, well, obviously you're going to have the offensive coordinator.
Correct.
Then you're probably going to have a passing game coordinator
And a running game
and a
coordinator.
running game coordinator.
And if you're Mike McCarthy, you've got 16 analytics guys and gals.
And then you're probably going to have like a quality control coach. And then you're probably also going to have some sort of special assistant to something.
You're
So
going to
there's
have 10 assistant coaches for the offense alone.
a minimum of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what I appreciate about it is there are a lot of talented people that can't break into coaching. That that have probably played the game or, like an Eric Bieniemy. He was never a star.
No.
He was a very good player.
But he had the mindset of being a coach, and that's why he got into coaching, got the opportunity, and moved through the ranks and became an offensive coordinator for the Chiefs. And one day he will probably be a head coach, although we cannot be assured of that because I would be willing to bet 2 years ago he would have been a head coach by now.
I'm not going to be shocked if one of the people on April 8th is not Eric Bieniemy. That will not surprise me at all.
But one of the things about situations that like coaches like Eric Bieniemy get into, the teams are so successful that they can't be interviewed for the job until their team is eliminated.
I agree with that too.
And that causes some issues because with the Chiefs being in the AFC Championship game the last
4 years,
people want to make decisions and put people in place. One of the things that I saw, Tony Dungy, I believe, put in place was said, freeze hiring until after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That way everybody has a fair opportunity to get into games, and I think that would be an incredibly good thing to do.
Absolutely. But my point is that I don't have a problem with them saying, you need to turn over some more rocks and find somebody that can do the job. I mean,
But do you want to work for somebody because you got hired based on your skin color or what you have or don't have below your waist?
But the problem might be is I'm not getting an opportunity. I may be really good.
But see, one of the things that we run into in the NFL is the NFL is unfortunately a copycat league. Yeah. If this is successful, the next team's going to try getting the next person that goes with Todd McVay or Sean McVay. I'm sorry. And so they hire his pool boy because he's linked to Sean McVay.
Right.
And so rather than turn the rocks over, they try to find the next thing that's in that lineage that goes with it rather than turning the rocks over.
Well, yeah, that pedigree of
Zach Taylor, Kevin O'Connell.
I mean, look at the Belichick and Saban tree.
Head coach in Green Bay.
Matt LaFleur. But that was the Shanahan thing. I mean, that was the thing that we were laughing about last season is they have this picture of the 2013 Redskins, who weren't very good. We were mediocre. I think we were 9-7 with Kirk Cousins. And the coaches on the staff that are offensive
gurus,
coordinators are Kyle Shanahan, Matt LaFleur, Sean McVay.
Yeah. 3 head coaches who are very successful and known for the offensive geniuses.
And we couldn't keep any of them.
Yeah, because you're the commodes.
Because nobody wants to play in that dog shit stadium.
Well, that's for sure. Okay. That was probably it. They probably ran across some raw sewage.
Here's my take on this. Is I agree with Seth and I agree with you both. I think the NFL should hire the best person available no matter who they are, no matter what the color of their skin is, no matter what they have or don't have as far as sexual organs go. And I think that for the most part, the NFL teams do a very good job of doing that. However...
Oh, they do not.
There are
teams totally disagree.
that are stuck in the good old boys network where they recycle coach after coach after coach after coach after coach. And you can usually pick those teams out because they're the ones who are successful but not elitely successful. They do just enough to be winning records but don't do enough to be able to move the next level and become a contender type thing.
Yeah.
Or they're a team like the Bengals have been in the past where they hire one coach and stay with them no matter what they do because the Bengals don't get rid of coaches. That being said, I despise and I dislike being told that I have to hire a certain person or a certain gender or a certain color for a position that I have to create and I have to pay as an owner because somebody else didn't do their job the right way.
Correct.
I think it is absolutely... We're going back to where we have to have XYZ number of people. We have to have 15 of these and 15 of those. And if we're going to do that, let's do that in the players too.
So
if we're going to mandate coaches, let's mandate the same percentage of people as far as racial profiles and sexes have to play in the NFL. If we're going to do that to coaches, let's do that to players too.
And if we're gonna do players and coaches, then we got to go to ownership, and then we got to go to GMs, and then we got to go to all the other stuff. I mean, where does it
front
end?
office people. I
And
mean,
that's the
but they
problem.
should
It
do.
doesn't
They should
end.
be doing all of that. I mean,
They should hire the best person for the job, no matter who they are.
and some organizations
Instead
do.
of being told and mandated that
Some
you have
don't.
to do this type of stuff. Because if you don't want to do that, pay the price by having people not come to your by not follow your team. Pay the price by not having people buy your tickets. Pay the price by being the commodes.
the
Argue with me.
I can't on the last part. Al Davis. Al Davis was the best owner
No
in
doubt.
the league
No doubt. I agree with you 100%.
because Al Davis solely worked off of merit and people.
Let's get the best, baby.
And he had the first black head coach. He had the first woman executive. So I believe that he ascribed to your system, which is I'm hiring the best person that I
Hire
think
the
for the
best
job.
person, no matter who they are.
Best
for the
of
job.
the best. I don't care who it is.
Right.
If it's Liz Sowers from
And by the way,
Heston-
if I find a high school football coach who's running an offense that I think would be impactful in the NFL, I'd hire him.
Yeah.
yeah.
I've already went on record and said I'd hire Snoop Dogg to be my organizational director because of what he's done with his little league program.
100% guaranteed I'd hire him to be an announcer, though.
Oh, no doubt. There's zero chance.
Him and Marshawn.
Oh my God,
would be
dude is
hilarious.
awesome.
But you hire the best person, no matter who they are,
We're gonna let it do what
for
it
the
do,
job.
baby.
And mandating stuff as it goes along. I remember in the 1980s going to college, where I know I'm old, where if you met certain quotas, they got extra financial aid to go to college because they met a quota that was there.
Correct.
And that was wrong because it penalized people who didn't meet that quota.
Correct.
Just like this penalizes people who don't meet that quota.
So what you're going to have is some people that are greatly qualified that cannot get a coaching job because the maximum number of certain race A has been taken in this category. So now we have to go find certain race B because we have to have a minimum number of people because it has to all be equal.
Yeah.
It's
And
not all equal.
Hire the best person and quit mandating stuff. Just put one out there.
Well, they're
Hire
gonna
the
get-
best person.
They're going to get
Period.
sick and tired of it is what's going to happen.
Well, we're starting to see this throughout our society where the wokeness is starting to come back and bite themselves. And that's exactly what the NFL's done by having the Rooney Rule and having this rule in place now, where they're not doing what they're supposed to do, and it's going to end up hurting them legally going forward.
Because once you go down this rabbit hole, you can't get out of this rabbit hole.
This rabbit hole's...
You can't appease everybody
but you
because
have to
then-
bury everybody in the rabbit hole to go forward.
Then we're going to get into all of the other minorities that are not just women and minorities. Then we get into the sexual orientations, and then we get into all this other shit.
Mm-hmm.
And where does it end?
And that's the problem with America at this point in time.
I want the
is
best of the
we
best.
are too afraid to offend somebody and tell them, I'm sorry, you're not good enough for this job. I'm sorry, you're not good enough to do this. Find something else you're good at, please.
And if
everybody has their mutant savant skill. Find it and be good at it.
And if some
Yours is-
owner doesn't want to hire you because of your skin color or because of your
Then
sexuality,
call him out on it.
then you don't want to work for that piece of shit anyway.
Call him out on it and let the world
Well,
know
and that's
what
what's
the
happening
US
right
is.
now. And like I said earlier, the NFL has retained a firm to help them not get sued in the future,
To help them improve
to
their
avoid
wokeness.
lawsuits in the future.
To help them improve their wokeness.
Well, if that's what it is, yeah. I mean,
Rather than just going out with the mandate, hire the best person for the job no matter who they are.
But see, if they do that, they hire somebody else that somebody recommended. I mean, you'll keep getting the guys from the Shanna clan, you know,
But that stuff
and
works.
the
Yeah. And if it doesn't, they flush it in the toilet and start over someplace else again.
yeah.
I mean, it's stupid to mandate stuff because all mandates do is come back and hurt you in the end. Because you don't hire the right person for the job because I had to meet this mandate. I had to meet this quota.
Well, and if 5 years from now you have teams go back to them and say, okay, you made me do this. This person wasn't qualified and couldn't get our running backs to the level they needed to be at. Then they can say, we need to rethink this. But until they start,
You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube.
yes, you can. I mean,
you can't.
It's not going to change the results of the past, but you can go back and say, okay, we've done something here that has not improved our game.
Are you going to admit your wokeness failed?
when you have a coach.
Well, I think they can say. I think they can go back and say, "Look, we hired these people. These people, we hired them out of a mandate. They weren't qualified for it.
But that's just
we need
because
to
you
hire
hired the
people."
wrong, that's because you hired the wrong person. The mandate works. You just hired the wrong person. It's not my fault. You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. You can't unwake the woke.
And then what's going to happen is when you have a coach, whoever that you hire because of their sexual identity
Gender.
as well as their skin color, and they don't perform, then what are you going to do? Because if you fire them, you're a racist, bigot, and homophobe. If you leave them there, you're an idiot because you want the best of the best. So
Well, I mean, but they fired Brian Flores.
For stupidity, you had an owner who was apparently stupid and didn't really care about hiring the best. Fired Brian Flores, who, in my opinion, was one of the best coaches last year.
Oh, for sure.
I think he was a top 5 coach last year because of what he did with that team and brought them around and made them a winner with a limited roster.
yeah.
The fact being that Houston didn't hire him shocked the living bejesus out of me.
Oh, for sure.
And then again, do you want to work for a dog shit owner like that?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
And so, in this case, let's look at what the real root cause of this is.
Wait a second. I'll work for Stephen Ross and the Miami Dolphins today.
Yeah, if he's gonna
Right
pay
now.
me, if he's going to pay me $3.4 million a year, I'll be more than glad to work for him.
I mean, you could pay me $100K. I'll move to Miami, and I will work in the front office of the Dolphins. Sign me up right now, today. I will be on a plane
I kind of agree with
tonight.
that. I would take the job.
$100K in Miami is not going to get you terribly.
I don't care. I will be on a plane tonight to Miami.
And so, but the problem we run into is now we've got this new mandate, this new quota they have to meet, rather than just hiring the best person for the job. And what the NFL needs to do is look at the ownership and say,
Y'all did
Steven,
this to yourselves.
I got to tell you this, dude. You are a dumbass. You're making us look really stupid. We're going to strip you of your franchise and put it up for sale.
Well, that's
Same thing they did to
that's going to
Daniel
happen.
Snyder.
Oh yes, for sure.
Same thing they need to do to probably
He's
2
on
or 3
4 committees, by the way.
Yeah.
That was the headline
The same thing they
underneath the
probably
Brady
need to-
thing.
they need to do
Snyder
the-
is on 4
They
committees.
need to do 2 or 3 other owners in the league and strip them of their ownership and move on.
Yes.
Because I'm sorry, there's 32 of us. You're making us look bad. 31 of us are going to kick your ass off the island.
Yep. I agree. I couldn't agree more.
Rather than coming up with these mandates and that type of stuff, let's start policing the
I'm
ownership.
telling you that the mandate is all related around your wokeness thing, where the NFL has to do things in light of the Deshaun Watson situation. They have to make it more readily apparent that they are supportive of women, let alone the fact that they have this thing on Peacock where they're like, I don't know, it's some promotion of women in the NFL.
Oh yeah, I've watched part of it. It was on the NFL Network as well.
It's the
It's-
dumbest thing I've ever seen. One of the things is they have Kim Pagula, who's the owner and the manager of the Bills. Yeah, great.
Worth
She has done
5.8
such
billion.
a great job. You married a super rich dude that already owned the Buffalo Sabres, and you had enough money to buy the Bills. She has worked her way to the top.
And she got a new stadium in Buffalo this week.
Right.
Yeah. The problem with the NFL at this point in time is they've painted themselves into a corner that's going to come back and burn them. Most of the women that I've talked to about this rule hate it because now they're hiring because I'm a woman. They're hiring because I'm qualified. Do I get the job because I'm qualified? I get the job because I don't have testicles.
It's the same thing you fight in the court of public opinion. We fought it at Masco Brady, but we also had a great track record of at least hiring women.
It's hire the right person for the job. Hire the most qualified person for the job, no matter who they are. It comes down to that simple motto. And I never thought about Al Davis being the best owner in the NFL, but you stop and think about it, he was.
And
He is.
he did not listen to everybody else. He was not afraid to be the man standing alone on an island by himself and pointing that the emperor had no clothes.
Yeah, and he did. Al Davis. Why couldn't he give his son a better haircut?
That's a genetics thing, I'm
I
sure.
mean, we could look at that haircut and we go,
Or some dignity.
The Raiderettes are hot, though. I'm sorry, that was probably sexist, but
It
those
was.
girls are all hot.
okay, anything else for tonight?
I think we're done for tonight.
We'll wrap it. We'll be back next Wednesday night. Got turned off, didn't we? Nope.
No, that's my mic.
Okay. That's like I was talking. It sounded like it went away.
It did.
Guys, have a
Thankfully, it
great
was
one.
just
We'll
that.
see you next week. Be careful. Be safe.
Peace out there, everybody. See ya.